ChatGPT. It's a software that has the remarkable ability to converse like a human being. Tech giant Microsoft now looks set to invest $10 billion in ChatGPT's parent company, OpenAI. The future applications are so widespread that it's being billed by some as the future of literature, news, and journalism. So, what might this technology mean for the future of, say, my job, Isaac's job, James' job, in our field? Here to tell us more is Neil McFarlane, a lecturer in journalism at Sunderland University, some of whose modules touch on how to engage with chatbots. He's been doing his own experiment with ChatGPT. Good morning to you, Neil, and welcome to the program. So what did the experiment show?
So I'm a university lecturer and a journalist. So when I heard about this technology, I immediately worried for the future of myself and my students. So I first tested it by putting in the essay title for one of my modules to see if it could write an essay as my students would. And it churned out a very solid response within about 30 seconds. That's something that might take a student several weeks to do. And I then tried out with asked it to write a rudimentary news article about council tax rates in Sunderland. Again, the sort of thing that my students would do quite regularly for our website. And it managed that in no time at all. It was written very convincingly in sort of news style. It was broadly factually correct on first glance. But once I had I double checked some of the facts, it actually got quite a few things wrong.
Okay, so it's well written, but the facts are wrong. So you still
Huge leap ahead.
you still need that human touch of what we do. Obviously, double checking everything that we put out there. But what, in terms of implications going forward, if this becomes a thing and for this technology, what would that be for journalists like yourself and I and everybody else who works in this industry?
Well, it might help with the initial writing of a story at this stage. It's no good on accuracy at all at the moment, and the creators themselves admit that it shouldn't be relied upon at the moment. There are certain things it can't do. It obviously can't interview people, so you would still need a journalist to do that. It can't get involved in investigative journalism because that's about finding the hidden and stuff that's being kept secret. And all this can draw upon is what it can find on the internet. So there's it might be able to do rudimentary tasks, but certainly a lot of the writing could be done by this. It does it very, very capably. You wouldn't know it was written by an algorithm.
So we will still be needed for the interviews and the hard investigative work. But for your own students, what are you advising them to use or avoid with this kind of technology as it advances?
Well, I mean, obviously at university, plagiarism can be an issue when students they hand something in that isn't entirely their own work. So, I mean, it's not such a problem that I have with my students, but this can actually be detected. So there has been new technology actually invented by a journalism and computer science student that can analyze text produced by this, and it can tell whether it was written by a human or not.
Wow.
So it's I mean, to be honest, I would be a bit nervous about having this. I've got an essay due on Friday for my module. That might be the last one I do, to be honest, because this really is very, very, very convincing.
All right. Thank you so much. Neil McFarlane, there, lecturer in journalism at Sunderland.